This DuraMax Texas Grand Prix DFS Picks and bonus St. Pete IndyCar Picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not listening till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. Cody, I'm watching the intro video that we made, right? And I'm feeling like you need to update your picture. You need to find a Carson Hocevar one.
I am hoping to get to Kansas this spring. Hopefully that'll all work out with the daughter softball. But yeah, I definitely need a Carson Hocevar picture to replace the Corey LaJoie picture.
Yeah, I immediately thought of that when I saw it. I was like, Cody needs a Hocevar picture. That's 1,000% what needs to happen here. So first and foremost, I want to say hello to everybody and thank you for clicking the bell. James Rainwater has the bell, I'm sure. He says, ooh, look at me. Made it to the live. What's up, fellas? I love the number that pops up immediately when we go live. That means you guys are clicking the bell.
Yeah. Guys filing in before it even starts. The bell just, it's like, oh, shit, here we go. Let's go. I'm excited.
Let's go. Let's go, Cody, because it is, of course, the DFS edition of this of the show, and that means we're turning our attention to the COTA race here in the Cup Series and giving our DFS takes. But we're also going to, at your behest, throw in a little IndyCar talk. That's what we're here to do today. We're going to lay out the DFS picks as we always do for COTA. It's going to be short and sweet for a couple of them, but no, I'm just kidding. We'll make some cases for some folks, but yeah, definitely it's a DFS day plus some Indy picks.
That was our agreement, was we'll keep it short and sweet. I mean, we could definitely have full IndyCar episodes, which we've done before, but, you know, there's always so much time in the week. We like to work it in. It's still motorsports. You still get a bet on it. IndyCar F1. They're a lot of fun. They're different from NASCAR. Betting on them is much different from NASCAR, but it's still fun to bet on, fun to have a little action on that as well. Plus, this week and next week, IndyCar is very much tied in with NASCAR, both at St. Pete with the trucks this week, next week at Phoenix with the Cup Series. So, yeah, excited to talk a little IndyCar after we get through our DFS stuff.
Indeed, we will. And you will also have fun listening to all kinds of other shows that are on the network when you're done with this one. If you download, when you download, not if, who are we talking if? When you download the SGPN app, it's free in the App Store. All you got to do is get your little fingers out there and go SGPN in the App Store, click it, and you'll see the app, and you'll have instant access to all of the free podcasts, all of the free picks that are on this amazing network of ours, and you get to talk to everybody too, because the Discord information is in there as well. So make sure you go get that app right meow. Hi everybody. Man, I love when the chat blows up this much. Slow roll saying, come say it, Rod. Say it with me, Cody.
Hocevar. Let's go. Not this week.
Slow roll can't get me to say it in the Discord, and you can't get me to say it in here. Cousin Danny says, not in an airplane hangar today. James has 3 days off, so congratulations, James.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Oh,
I'm
shit,
glad.
3 days. That's nice.
I would love 3 days off at this point. Cousin Danny saying he would pay $40K for SVG. You may have to someday.
Weird. How'd you know how much I bet on SVG this week?
Oh my God. What are you? You're that guy. You're the guy that bets on the horses. Like he throws the entire line off just before the.
I made a trip to the casino last night, Rod, because I live in Nebraska and we couldn't just have apps because that'd be way too easy. So made a trip to the casino. Pre-qualifying, COTA's the biggest race I've ever bet on, I think. So here we go. Strap in. We're riding or dying this weekend.
I'm about to say your kid is either going to Yale.
We either have summer vacation or we're staying home.
The television bill better be paid for the rest of the summer because that's where we're at right now. Cousin Danny says it's more like SVPN network.
It's SVGN. Let's go.
No, thank you. And then Slow Roll saying someday, Rod, someday soon. Right. Don't hold your breath. Slow roll at all. All right, before we get to Cody.
Yeah.
That's a
depending on how the bets go this week, that might be my new nickname.
We'll be introducing you on the recap show as Cody or
not a Cody. Where did Cody go?
Cody is gone now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to replace him with somebody else. But no, there is a small piece of news that we'll get to because I just saw it come across my feed. I'm not sure when. Sometimes I don't normally get to it right away, but there was an all-star race announcement, Cody, and this is a pretty big one because the last couple of years have been, it's not a throwaway event, but it's like the Pro Bowl in that.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say the good thing about our sport compared to a lot of sports is you watch the Pro Bowl. I feel weird even calling it that. It was like a 6-on-6 flag.
Sanders is in it.
I mean, that too, but you got guys out there in their, Google glasses or whatever. It was just, I don't know. But in NASCAR, like when we race. And that's the good part about it is I don't want to say there's no half throttle. Look at Daytona, but like when you race, and that's different, right? So the All-Star race has always been where they've used that as a test session for things. That's how we ended up with stages. That's how we've tried out different things and all that. And so they've always played with the format and changed it up. So they're doing that again this year. Now Dover got its normal race taken away, no longer on the 36 race schedule, but they get the All-Star event and they're going to make it a big event, which it's, as NASCAR can tend to do, it's a bit complicated, but I think it's going to be exciting. So it's 350 laps, a 75-lap stage, a 75-lap stage, and then 200 laps. There's no open race, so all cars will just start this. So after the first segment, top 26. So, if you win, you'll go back to 26th. If you're second, you'll go to 25th. If you're 26th, you'll go to first, whatever. Invert. So invert the top 26 after the first segment. The drivers' combined finish in the first two segments sets the order for the final segment of 26 drivers. So passing points, sort of, if you want to go with that type of thing. Gain the most positions you can gain. That's going to start you for the quote-unquote main event, the final 200 laps. So that's how we get in. 2025 and 2026 race winners, past champions, those guys are locked in. There will be best combined segment finishers that get in. That'll be your quote-unquote open cars that get in, and there will still be a fan vote driver. So currently locked in is 17 drivers that include Chastain, Cindric, Dillon, Austin that is, Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, Blaney, Briscoe, Bell, Barry, Logano, Wallace, Byron, Reddick, SVG, Keselowski, and Busch. So as of today, 8 more would get in after 2 segments, plus a fan vote, but that can go down if we get more new winners, like when Carson Hocevar wins at Las Vegas in a couple weeks, he'll be locked in, so we won't have to worry about that. So, yeah, that's the, we'll maybe see if we can get an extra show just to explain the format when we get there. But, no, it sounds, I like it. I think it's cool. We're going to get all the cars out there. And the positional passing thing kind of makes it interesting because we're not really going to know, and that's what's going to be very interesting, too, from a betting aspect. You're almost not going to know where people are going to start in the final stage, so that'll be crazy. DFS and how that ends up getting scored. Is it the whole thing? It probably will be. So we'll know all that as we get closer. But that certainly is going to change up how we look at things and how things kind of are. So it'll be exciting. Get a longer race in there, having it be 350 laps. So I like it. I'm for this pro this format.
And I've always loved Dover. I mean, it's a shame that it's off of of course, Jimmy Johnson's playground, Dover. His car is in Miles the Monster's hand, so you got to love Dover if you're a Jimmy Johnson fan. But I like the fact that it's 200 laps. Like that is so, I don't want to say old school, but it is. 200 laps on a stage is just redonkulous. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch them hammer it out over 200 laps. And it's not a full field, so there could be some wide open spaces to maneuver, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be a good time. So you'll take NASCAR All-Star Race over any other sports All-Star game just because it's inherently better than the rest of them.
I concur. All right. Well, with that piece of news out of the way, let's set up our DFS purposes here at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It's the DuraMax Texas Grand Prix, set for 95 laps around this 3.410 mile road course for 323.950 miles of blistering Texas sun, and a lot of fun from our aspect of it. I guess first and foremost, Cody, laps led, that'll be what it is, right? There's 95 of them, so take what you will from that. But the initial discussion before we even get going with our DFS picks, and we'll do this before we go to break because this is a good way to get into break. This is SVG's world. We're all just living in it at this point. So if you roster SVG, right, at the price he's at, we're going to give you some options to make that work, as we always do. But understand that you will probably be entering in tournaments where he is 100% rostered and everybody's going to have him.
Yeah, I mean, you have to play him. If you're doing some max enter stuff, some 150s or whatever, certainly you're going to want to build some lineups that don't have him just because things can happen, right? And if you don't have him, you're going to be in rarefied air. But if I'm 150 max entering, 145 to 147 of those lineups have SVG in them, I don't care where he starts. I don't care what he looks like at practice. I don't care where he qualifies. I don't care if they cut one of his arms off before the race. I'm playing SVG. He's 13,000. He's worth it. Like Cousin Danny said, I'd pay 40,000 for him this week. If I could just put SVG in there and all of the spots, I would do it. It's everything SVG this week. So we're not going to give that out as one of the plays because it's just this is like Kevin Harvick used to be on the week-to-week basis. Remember when we would start the show and Kevin Harvick was still around? We'd say, don't forget to play Kevin Harvick this week. That was like Larry Fitzgerald when back in the DFS days when Fitzgerald was around. It was like, okay, so you put Larry Fitzgerald in, and then how are we going to build the rest of the lineup? That's this week. We'll put SVG in, build the rest of the lineup from there.
And it's funny too, because imagine if NASCAR ran this like a captain, like the captain slot, you'd be 1.5 times his price. Like, you'd be paying $40K for him right there because that's what SVG would cost.
Yeah. You figure out the rest of the lineup because you said there's 95 laps in this. Mm-hmm. Like, don't be surprised if he leads 85 of the 95 laps. And then he will hog all of the hog points, whatever you want to call it, for DFS. Like, I don't know how you don't play him other than to be a little bit different in hopes or in case something crazy goes wrong in that small scenario. But again, we've talked about it all week. It's all SVG on Sunday for me.
Yeah, indeed. All those slow rolls saying word on the street is if SVG does not win, Cody will have to be called COD because he hawked the Y. Let's ride, Cody. Yeah?
I might be broadcasting from the box on the street next week if SVG doesn't win.
Cody, why is your video so bad?
What happened to your studio? Well, you see what happened was
there's these guys with baseball bats and they're coming after me and I don't know what to do.
Oh, yes.
Poor Cody. But yeah, so look, that's the SVG blanket statement to even begin this before we get going with all of our picks, because neither one of us are going to actually give him all on the show as an official DFS play. But let's face it, he's an official DFS.
We're giving him out because it's so obvious and it's such a must play that it doesn't even need to be discussed. So we've already spent too much time on it, Rod.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can listen to about 16 different shows this week and they're all going to tell you about the same.
You want to hear me talk about SVG for 45 minutes? Go back and listen to the betting episode.
It's already done. my friends. It's already been done. All right, let's get to some of our favorite DFS picks. But before we do, I want to tell you about my friends over at Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Kalshi's got a ton of trading options for your favorite sports, and besides sports too, they got tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment, hell. You can even trade on the weather, whether or not aliens are going to be revealed as existing in this world. You can pretty much trade on just about anything. Last night, Survivor 50 hit the screens, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, it was so nice to see all of those smiling faces before they start cutting each other's throats out. Right now, you can trade on the winner of that historic season. Do you think Savannah can go back-to-back in season 49 and 50? She got herself a nice little group of folks there. Her tribe is pretty strong. That $20 that we're going to give you for free, you could turn that into $2,000 if Savannah walks out as the back-to-back winner of Survivor. You can do that and sign up in the meantime. New customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Let's talk about Rhythm. It's been on a heater for college and NBA picks. It's super easy to sign up. You can run predictions off the house model or make your own and play with the sliders. Rhythm works really well. Kalshi, too, sending our predictions to the prediction app. If you're looking to go premium, now's a good time. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Big night for television last night, Cody. Big night. Scrubs made its return, and Survivor made its return.
Scrubs is great. Watched both of them last night, Rod. It was outstanding.
It was outstanding. Speaking of outstanding, DFS for the Cup Series race at COTA is outstanding. Let's start giving out, as we do, our high-price driver, mid-tier driver, and low-tier driver. So, Cody, who's your high-price pick?
Well, Rod, we're already playing SVG at $13,000. So in the high tier, if you can find somebody that's going to give you good return on your investment that doesn't cost a ton, it's Chase Briscoe at $8,700. The farther we get into this week, the better and better I'm feeling about Chase Briscoe. I talked about his top 5 earlier this week, of course, on the betting episode, but he was good in the 14 car when he came into the series. We saw him be good in Xfinity. And then he was good in the 14 car when he came into the Cup Series. Almost won at the Indy Road Course race in 2022, 6th place there in 2023, 6th place in Watkins Glen in 24. Then he had the 14th place finish here last year, still getting the feel under stuff. Then we saw things click. The 7th place at Mexico, very fast. Sonoma, absolute rocket ship, just fast car. He looked so good. That's what I love to see. 5th place at Watkins Glen. Fell off a little bit at the Roval, 14th. So it's not all perfect stats by any mean, but it's been well documented on this show, the rise of Chase Briscoe after coming to JGR in the 19 car. And honestly, if we look around and we look at things in the garage right now, SVG clearly the top guy when it comes to road courses. But then as you start to list people off, you got a Joe Gibbs car in Christopher Bell. You got a Joe Gibbs car in Ty Gibbs. You got a Joe Gibbs car in Chase Briscoe that are all near the elite list, right? Ty is hanging on at the end of that elite list maybe, but can be elite list. We saw it in Mexico from him as well. But they bring good cars to these road courses. And, Denny's just not a road course guy. It's just not his thing. Although he's done fine. He's got the pole, I believe, here a couple of years ago. He's on the pole at Chicago. He's been done well in the qualifying. The racing is lacking from him, but that's okay. I love Chase Briscoe this weekend. Getting him at a cheap price at just $8,700. I think he'll be a great pairing with SVG. Cousin Danny was asking earlier, I believe it was him in the Discord, who would you, if you're looking for an exact, SVG plus, Briscoe's the first name I said. Love Briscoe this week. So give me Chase Briscoe, $8,700. So
I listened to Actions Judgmental this week. I don't listen to that as much as I should, I guess, because it's a pretty good show, but I love it.
It is.
They asked Denny, they were like, Denny, are you excited to be away from super speedways? And he was like, well, no, because now I'm on a road course. So not necessarily thrilled about that one. But yeah, I think Briscoe's a good play, especially at $8,700. That'll give you some salary relief for that. I'm going to go, this is one where, you want to have 100%. Yeah, sure. Fine. But how about no? Because sometimes there's that one thing that can jump in the way of SVG, an alien that takes him out, a bad wheel, Connor Zilisch wrestling him at the end. and then all of a sudden he gets taken out, and so
I would imply Connor Zilisch is going to be close to him, Rod.
Well, he could be a lap down and still trying to fight him for whatever. So, but should something unexpected happen, my high price driver is William Byron. He's $10,000. You'd be hard pressed to put both SVG and William Byron in a lineup at the same time. But William Byron, a very solid option for DFS purposes on this track. In fact, last year he finished with 57.05 points, which was the third highest point total on the track at the day. He finished in 2024 as the top driver on the chart. William Byron was 60 points in the race. He started first, finished first, had 10 fast laps, led 42 laps. William Byron finished inside of the top 10 in the 2023 race as well. So for the last 3 years, he's been pretty solid, 44 points in that race, finished fifth after starting on the pole, led 28 laps and had 6 fastest laps. But more impressively too, William Byron just very solid on road courses altogether. Had an 11th place finish at the Roval after starting 13th, turned a 10th place start into a 4th place finish at Watkins Glen, finished 8th in Sonoma, started 3rd, but still 8th place is a pretty decent finish. Chicago street course sucked, so we'll throw that out. Mexico City started 27th, finished 9th. COTA, like we said, started 15th, finished 2nd. And then you go to the Roval the year before, started 10th, finished 3rd. So a couple of solid seasons for William Byron on road courses. A guy that you don't bang the drum for on road courses as much as you should. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson pretty much sucked up all the air being the best road course racers in HMS stable, but William Byron has actually just been pretty much putting it together. Kyle Larson, I don't have his stats in front of me because I saw them and I puked and I turned away. Not the best road course racer in the garage anymore in the HMS camp. So like I said, William Byron slowly taking his place. At $10,000, you're going to get a solid return on him. And should the unforeseen happen to SVG, I think William Byron is right there to inherit his role and really turn a solid day for you, especially in DFS purposes.
Yeah, I like William Byron this week. I think you've made a strong case for him in the betting episode and again today, so I'll ride with you on this one.
Beautiful. Yeah, I didn't want to overthink it. Byron was the guy to go. So, all right, we got to take a step down in price because we have to take a step down in price now. We've got a bunch of expensive folks. So who's our less expensive folk?
Yeah, our cover boy for this episode over on the YouTubes, Rod. One Alex Bowman, $7,800. Absolutely love Alex Bowman this weekend. He is the one and done pick for me this week. Say keep an SVG in the pocket. We're going to save him for later. But Alex Bowman he's the guy.
Is the guy, and Cody, again, corporate DFS doesn't like Cody talking about sure.
Oh, now Rod's been now it happened to Rod too. Okay, well, corporate DFS really coming after both of us, so there is that. But anyways, Rod, continuing on, Alex Bowman, love him this week. He's been amazing at COTA at this track. Back in 2021, the first start here, 8th place finish. Then in 2022, he finished 2nd place here. That amazing last lap battle, him, Chastain, and AJ Allmendinger was the other one. There we go. 3rd place here in 2023, a 4th place here in 2024. That's 3 races in a row inside of the top 4. Pretty incredible. A horrible 9th place finish last year, but even that is going to give you a solid return for a guy at $7,800. Then you just take a wider scope, like, okay, really good at this track in particular, but what about other road courses, right? How does he do? It's not always great, right? 20th at Watkins Glen, 19th at Sonoma, but Chicago street race, finished 8th place here last year. He also won that race in 2024. Don't forget about that. 4th place at Mexico City last year as well. The 9th place here, obviously, in 8th place at Charlotte Roval a couple of years ago, a 5th place in 23. Again, these COTA, man, just 3rd place, 2nd place. They just jump off the page to you. Alex Bowman, a solid road course racer in a general sense, but at COTA in particular, he's got this place figured out. Yeah, they changed the track, shortened it up last year, and that was his worst finish, but still 9th place. I'll take that for a guy at this price. Again, kind of my thought on DFS is SVG is going to be the lead dog. He's going to get all the points, right? He's going to get the laps led. He's going to get the fastest laps. He's going to get the finishing position points. He's going to get all that. So you got to look for other guys who are going to get you finishing positions, maybe some place differential in there as well. Alex Bowman, a guy that's going to get us a solid finish $7,800. Clearly, corporate DFS doesn't want us to talk about Alex Bowman since they tried to snipe both of us at the same time, Rod. So, yeah, you got to play Alex Bowman this week.
I've never felt more vindicated in my opinions that people are coming after us. They want us to stop talking about it because we're costing them money, and that's all right. But listen, if you look at the average finishes at COTA, I mean, like I talked about too, it's not even Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson anymore that are the top two dogs. William Byron is the highest average finisher at COTA since 2023 with a 2.7 finish. Alex Bowman right there in fourth place overall, 5.3. Chase Elliott down there at 10. Not listed is Kyle Larson at all. And even in road and street courses, right? It goes SVG, Busher, Reddick, Bell, Elliott, Byron, McDowell, Chastain, Bowman, Busch, Gibbs, Logano, Elliott, and Larson not even on that list, either one of them. So it's just funny how quickly the tides have turned on that. So, all right. My mid-tier driver is one Austin Cindric. It's funny. I was listening to Phil today too, and he was giving off Full Tank Phil. Go make sure you check out that amazing show. The truck picks are out as well, and we both are doing a contest together. The one.
Have you listened to the trucks yet?
I've not listened to the trucks yet.
Okay.
I just listened to his Cup episode. So
yep, I've listened to Cup, but I haven't got the truck. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Who did we play? I don't even remember.
I don't remember now.
I'm sure it was a great play, Rod.
That was yesterday, Cody. I don't know what's going on.
We were in the throes of Truck Series at the time.
We sure as hell were. But Phil was giving out a stat about Ford just not really doing well on this track altogether, and that's fine. For betting purposes, we'll stay away, but for DFS purposes, I'm going to take Austin Cindric in that 2-car. Last year, he got you 28 points. The year before that, he got you 16 points. The year before that, he got you 37.3 points, which is the 14th most points on the day. Look, he's mid-pack in a lot of these, right? Mid to lower pack. That's kind of what you expect out of him, especially the price that he's at right now. He is $7,200. I just want somebody who can give me points, and this is a high GPP play because there's not a lot of people that are going to be on Cindric at all because they're going to be focusing on some of these other big names. But overall, he actually makes the list in the top average finishers at COTA, 16.3, right behind another guy I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But, he's actually on the snapshot. Like I said, Kyle Larson, not even in the snapshot. So for me, I'm riding with a guy that I know can at least get me a good average finish on this track at a price that is not going to break the bank. And it's not going to be sexy. He's not going to be flashing at the front. He's not going to lead laps. He actually led 2 back in 2023. So maybe he'll lead a couple of laps. I don't know. I don't think so. But what I'm hoping for is a mid-pack start or even a back of the pack start and a mid-pack finish, right? Some moving up in the thing like he did last year. 36th, he started 25th. He finished. The year before that, he started in 11th and finished 19th, which is why it wasn't the greatest of DFS days for him. But, again, you're not asking for much out of Austin Cindric. You just want a nice, solid day. He got a third place start in 2023 and then ended up finishing pretty well for you as well. So, yeah, he finished 6th. So, like I said, if we can get somewhere in a top 15 finish out of Austin Cindric, I'll take it. It'd be a good DFS day. And, like I said, this is not one that's going to make you feel warm and fuzzy, but everybody in the middle of that pack is not really as good as Austin Cindric has been on this track.
Yeah, I think Cindric is a guy that the floor is kind of low. You could get a down performance, but he's got a lot of high upside. I don't think a ton of people are going to be on him this week. I've not heard a lot of talk or a lot of chatter about him. So I think that he's definitely a guy who does have that ability. Also, don't forget, he went down under this past year during the offseason and did some supercars racing. Certainly, maybe some stuff he learned there he could continue to parlay into his road course ability here. I don't know if you remember, Rod, but when he raced in the Xfinity Series, really, really good at road course racing. Now, that hasn't immediately translated into the Cup Series, which is just a crazy thought that maybe Xfinity success doesn't automatically translate to the Cup Series. But we're starting to get a little farther into his career, and maybe things will continue to click for him. So I like the Austin Cindric play this week as well.
Indeed. Boy, you're taking shots left and right. It's funny. You take shots as much as I take shots, but yours are like haymakers. James wants to know, will they be qualifying for the races this week? Actually, Saturday, the Cup Series folks are going to qualify. Friday, the Truck Series and O'Reilly Series guys will be qualifying. So keep an eye out. You can go to the NASCAR website and you can find out when they're doing that.
Practice as well. They'll have practice and practicing qualifying at super speedways means absolutely nothing. In DFS, qualifying does because you're generally going to want to start people farther back, but it doesn't mean anything here now. Going forward, practice and qualifying means a lot because we get an idea of where people are, what their speed's like, and if you look into, why is he not starting well? Oh, it was just this. His track history here is good. That's the type of guy you can use. So again, we record this pre-knowing where people are starting, so these are guys to keep an eye on. Don't just plug this in and run with it necessarily. Maybe it'll work out for you, but guys to watch and consider playing and work into your lineups.
Indeed. All right. Low tier drivers, low price drivers, guys that will completely save you money. Recognize a name on here that I love. And then there's another name on here that you're going to love as well. So Cody, who is your low price driver?
Double love, Rod, and neither of them are actually Jesse Love. But I did consider him, but not pulling the trigger. Zane Smith, $6,000. As I was looking through the bottom, I looked at a guy like Jesse Love. I was like, yeah, interesting. First Cup Series road course start, though, so I don't really know how I feel about him there. But Zane Smith, a guy we talked about in the betting episode, has a lot of upside to him, and that's kind of what I'm looking for here is a guy with some heavy upside that we can use to go out and also can just deliver us a solid day. So you look at it, 2024, a 19th place finish here. Sure, it's not the greatest of days, but when you're only paying $6,000, a guy that can finish 19th, that's a good solid day, right? So you like that. 29th place here last year, a little bit disappointing. First year back with front row, kind of getting his feet wet again. But you go to places like Watkins Glen, 17th, Chicago, 14th, 5th place at the Watkins Glen in 2024, 17th at Chicago in 24, 16th at Sonoma. These are the types of finishes at $6,000. If you can get a guy starting a little farther back at $6,000 who can go up and finish 15th, 16th, 17th, 14th, whatever it is, it's going to be a solid day for you. Truck Series, very, very good. He actually won here in 2022, also won here in 2023, second place at Mid-Ohio both of those seasons, second place at Sonoma in 2022. So another guy, Rod, success in the lower series on road courses. It didn't immediately vault him to the top of the Cup Series road course racing, but he's good at road course racing, and as he gets more comfortable with this car, he'll continue to get better. Maybe like some other drivers in the field will continue to get better as they get more comfortable with it. But yeah, give me Zane Smith at $6,000.
This is the season for Zane Smith. Who would have thunk it, right? And cousin Danny says if Zane Smith delivers for Cody again this week, he gives up. Sometimes
Zane Smith, he's been my guy. I think it was annoying cousin Danny at points last year, but if you remember, I can't wait. Next week we'll see at Phoenix. I don't remember his track history there, but when we get to Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, almost certainly he's going to be on the top 10 card because the 1.5 miles last year, he was just killing it for us. He kept cashing long shot stuff, always in play for that top forward long shot stuff like he was last week. You'll notice we stick with guys who make us money, and that's how it works, obviously. You like to bet on the guys who give you returns. Zane is a guy that's always in the mix to give you a return, and if he doesn't, well, he was cheap or he was a long shot, so it doesn't hurt that bad, right? It's not like if SVG doesn't win this week, I can't rely on, well, he was 22-1, fine, whatever. No, he needs to fucking win for me. So, yeah, I love Zane Smith as a cheaper guy when it comes to betting price and DFS price.
Well, that's like what we said too. If you're tired of hearing the same names, then you must be tired of making money because that's we're trying to give you the guys that are actually producing.
If they're not working, we're not going to keep talking about them. But
no.
He keeps delivering. So
speaking of keeping delivering, how about Gilly? I am riding the Gilly gang train one more time, especially in DFS. $6,200 for Todd Gilliland. I was telling you about the list of driver averages. Once again, thanks to our friends at Driver Averages. Also, thanks to our friends at iFantasy Race that they compile the DK points for us going back a few years so I can actually give you the quantitative, quantitative. I can give you stats to back up what I'm talking about. But Todd Gilliland is actually a name above Austin Cindric in the average finish here at the Circuit of the Americas, 15.3 in 3 races on this track for Todd Gilliland. He's got 2 top 10 finishes. That's not bad for a guy that's $6,100. About last year, he finished in 10th place, got you 34 points in fantasy in the process. A year before that, right in 2024, he finished with 14 points. Started 27th, finished 26th. Not a very good day for Todd Gilliland there, but this is what jumps out at you. All of a sudden in 2023, Todd Gilliland, 60.45 fantasy points, started 36, finished 10th, had a fast lap in there as well. You know, Todd Gilliland not going to blow your doors off all over the place, but he has been okay, especially for DFS purposes when it comes to road courses. The Roval last year started 31st, ended up in 17th. So that's a pretty decent positional day for him. Unfortunately, didn't get it done at Watkins Glen. Started 27th, finished 28th. Didn't lose you very many points, so that's not bad either for a guy that's $6,100. Sonoma started 35th, finished 22nd that day. The street course, I don't really care about the street course. Mexico City, don't care about that. Told you about COTA. The Roval the year before that started 15th, finished 18th. Watkins Glen in 2024 started 37th, finished 16th. And then the Sonoma race in June of 2024 started 14th and finished in 10th. So the pattern is there for him to get you good days in DFS. And, you know, much like Cindric, I'm not sure a lot of people are on Todd Gilliland in a road course, because it's one thing to say Todd Gilliland in a super speedway race, right? Because anything can happen. But when he's been pretty solid on road courses, especially for DFS purposes, I think you take a look, especially at $6,100.
Yeah, I like it. No argument from me. I think you laid out a beautiful case for him. I like a little Gilly as another cheap option that's got some upside to him.
That's Cody's equivalent to a pat on the head. You did a good job, Rod.
Great job,
I have
Rod.
no argument with you. Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
well, yeah, and sometimes you just leave it where, like, I got nothing else to add. You covered all the good points. It's nothing to argue about. You didn't give out Connor Zilisch. I'd have let you have it if you did. So there we go.
There was no thought about that whatsoever. We talked at length about it.
Yeah, I don't see many ways that I play Connor this week. I would do it for one entry in some random. Yeah. Again, if you're like max entering type stuff, get him in there for your variance parts. But that's not even going to be variance because other people are going to have them. I guess you get it in there because other people are going to have them, so you cover yourself. But I'm going to be more of the thought of let everybody else play them. I'm not going to, and I don't have to worry about it. I just don't know unless he wrecks in practice or qualifying and has to start in the back. And then, okay, fine, he's got all the place differential upside. But even if he goes out and sits on the pole, like, I think he'll get swallowed up early on. I don't know that there's much that can make me want to play him in DFS this week. And again, I'm sticking to my takes here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't, he's the second highest priced guy. He's like, what, 11,000 some? Like, I don't know. I'm just not overly interested. He's 11.5 so SVG at 13,000, 11.5 for Zilly.
Yeah, the books and the DFS companies don't want to get taken by him at all. So, all right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our DFS plays for the DuraMax Texas Grand Prix. Our high-priced drivers, Cody started you off with Chase Briscoe at $8,700. That's his high-priced driver. I said William Byron, $10,000 would be mine. Cody dipped down to Alex Bowman at $7,800 for his mid-tier driver. I gave you Austin Cindric at $7,200 for mine. Cody gave you Zane Smith at $6,000 even for his low-price driver. And I said Gilly Gang one more time, $6,200 for my low-price driver. I think he might be $6,100. I don't know. I think I might have read it wrong. Doesn't matter. Anywhere he's there, I'm taking him.
Close enough.
That's close enough. All right, Cody. Then that is it for DFS. We've got some IndyCar racing to get to, and we'll get to that on the other side of this as I tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog has got you covered for Pick'em for almost every single sport known to man. Underdog has just increased their payouts to 2-pick entries. Now pay 3.5 times your entry, and 3-pick entries are now 6.5x. Oh my God. You know, I love me some Pro Disc Golf Tour. How about Missy Gannon? Still looking at her. I want the higher than 3.5 on her finishing position in the opening match of the season. She ended this season on fire. Podium finishes in just about every single one of the tournaments that she was in. She's going to start that way again and get at least a third-place finish in the first tournament of the year. Can't wait to come watch her when she gets into town. Underdog's got a brand new offer, too, for new customers. Play just $5, get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. Love Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you are getting the best prices out there. How about the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Los Angeles Clippers later on today? For those of you listening tomorrow, sorry this already happened, but you can get the Timberwolves -7.5. Boy, this line just moved as soon as I jumped up on it. -7.5 for the Timberwolves at -117. Or if you like the Clippers in this, you can get them +7.5 at +107 if you like plus money on that. So great prices there by Novig. Go download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. I may not like basketball, Cody, but I can certainly speak the language when I need to.
Hey, betting on sports makes them a lot better, even if you're not necessarily interested as well. So there is always that. I do, Rod, you brought up the underdog 3 play is now 6.25. I cannot, the NASCAR lines aren't out yet, so we don't have any to share with you today. Stay tuned to the YouTube shorts and stuff. We'll definitely share stuff. But as soon as they drop, I will be playing SVG better. It's going to be set at 1.5. I already know that, right? We all know that. So it's going to be at 1.5. Give me the better. I will be playing Connor Zilisch worse than. I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the range of 2.5 or 3.5. So give me the worse than on him. And then Kyle Larson, I'm very interested to see where they set it at. I'm going to guess maybe 7.5, but I feel like they might even go lower because, it might be like 6.5 because he's so good. Usually, I don't know. Wherever it is, I'm taking the worst end. So SVG better, Zilisch worse, Larson worse. That's your three play underdog for this weekend that I feel super like. Obviously, I'll build other ones and get crazy stuff in there, but that's my go-to this week. That it will be my highest entry to get that 6.25 return over on underdog.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah, keep an eye out on our Twitters and the shorts. We're going to put up our underdog picks for this weekend since there aren't any out yet, but that's all right. We'll make work of it. So, all right. IndyCar kicks off its brand new season this week as well. Joining the trucks, or I guess the trucks are joining them. I don't know. They're going to be there together. Either way, at St. Pete, right? This is the streets of St. Petersburg in Florida, not in Russia. Those of you worried about that. No, they will be in the great states of Florida. And they'll be going around the streets of St. Petersburg. This 1.8 mile, 14 turn, 5 lefts, 9 to the right circuit. There's somewhat on an aircraft, but an airport, right? That's part of the thing.
It would be cool if they included an aircraft, but or an aircraft carrier, either one. But yes, it is part of a runway for an airport, and then through the downtown streets of St. Petersburg. So you kind of get through the downtown, the beautiful part of that, and then that long strip of fastest racing on the planet. That's how they advertise the rod, because it is. Look, if you're a NASCAR person, you're hanging around. I don't know about IndyCar. I haven't watched or whatever. Give IndyCar a shot. It's a lot of fun. And much like NASCAR, yes, you get the left and rights of the street course stuff, but you also get the ovals. Next week, there'll be a Phoenix, a track we're obviously familiar with. And IndyCar really is a lot of fun. It's fun to bet on. I've got the fantasy league set up, Rod. So go over to my pinned tweets at _Zeeb, $10 to get in on Grid Rival. That was a fun little league. We had a couple guys in there last year, hopefully getting a few more entries this year. But yeah, IndyCar, it's a ton of fun, and it's racing and we can bet on it. Like, what more do you want?
Well, and it's okay. I guess I'm not the most qualified to tell people about new sports because I love everything and anything under the sun except for basketball. But yeah, I mean, this is just a different language. It's strategies. Like, there's just so much intrigue that goes into IndyCar. This push to pass, the pit on the stuff. You got to have certain tires at certain points. You have to run both set of tires. Like, there's just so much going on in IndyCar to pay attention to that it's never boring. So, especially when they open the season on the streets of St. Petersburg, 100 laps for 180 miles around the 1.8 mile track. And Cody, we are going to spend a couple of minutes giving you our favorite plays for this opening race, the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg.
Yep, pretty simple. Firestone, great tires. Unless you're in NASCAR, then you like Goodyears. But we're in IndyCar right now. So, all right, let's roll with it, Rod. I'm going to start with a head-to-head matchup. You can get this one over on Bet365. Will Power over Marcus Ericsson. Really like this one. So Will Power, a longtime Penske driver. Penske and Chip Ganassi, those are kind of like the elite teams. Kind of gets, his contract runs up and we're done, right? And they've moved on. So now he gets bounced over to Andretti, which is a solid team to be on. He's replacing Colton Herta, who goes off to F2. That's all the long story short. But essentially, this is, believe, going to be the beginning of Will Power's "You Shouldn't Have Left Me" tour. I think it's going to be a nice revenge tour era for him. Marcus Ericsson, you've got him. He's in also an Andretti car, so they're in similar equipment, but the 26 car has always been better than Ericsson's car. Now, this has been a good circuit for Ericsson, certainly, but overall, he definitely lacks. So going to Power here at this track at St. Pete. Last year, a 26th place finish, 100 laps down. He got wrecked early. Shit happens. 2024, he finished 4th on the track, 2nd on the stat sheet after a couple of disqualifications. But a good run for him there. 7th place here in 2023. And then last year, he won the 3rd to last race at Portland. So even though, hey, you're not going to be back next year, whatever, it doesn't matter. Still goes out, gets a race win. He's capable of doing that stuff. 7 top 7 finishes in 2025. Herta also had 7 top 7s in this car. So similar stuff, right? It's not like, yes, he was in Penske, taking the step down. So maybe you don't expect all of the same results, but still you expect some good stuff here. And then for Ericsson, 6th place here last year. So he did get the better of him in that one, but 23rd 2 years ago. Now Ericsson did win this race in 2022. So we'll give him his credit for that, but only 2 top 10 finishes all of last season. So Will Power got 7 top 7s. Colton Herta got 7 top 7s, and Ericsson only managed 2 top 20 or top 10s in 2025. So for me, this is a pretty easy. Give me the Will Power Revenge Tour over Marcus Ericsson -105 on Bet365. If you don't have Bet365, I can't remember which book it was on. Might have been Fanatics or I don't know, the Score. I'm pretty sure it was on the Score. You can get Power over somebody else, and I like that as well. I can't remember who it was, but the Power matchup on the Score, I like that one also if you don't get the 365 option.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I tend to not question your
Lundqvist. That was Linus, Lundqvist. Or no, Rosenquist. A lot of quists in this.
A lot of quists.
Felix Rosenquist.
Love it. All right, I'm going to go with Scotty Mack over Kyle Kirkwood as mine. You can get this at -115 on the Score. Scotty Mack has had some spotty results here as of late. He did win in 2022, but then went on to a 13th place and 27th place finish the following 2 years, but bounced back last year. Led 40 laps, but finished 4th place after starting on the pole. So again, a pretty decent run here last year. But what I'm really loving is the fact that he ended the season on a pretty decent tear. Scotty Mack did. He finished 10th at Laguna Seca, but 7th at Portland, 3rd at Milwaukee, 3rd at Nashville. Hot on the money is that 9 machine of Scott Dixon. And, who doesn't love a good Kiwi, right? We got a Kiwi rolling in COTA. We've got a Kiwi rolling in the streets of St. Pete. So give this weekend to the New Zealanders, and I'm going to take Scott Dixon over Kyle Kirkwood. And Kyle Kirkwood, in and of his own right, had a really good season, right? 3 wins last year, but kind of spotty in his last few races. 16th at Laguna Seca, 20th at Portland, 12th at Milwaukee. He did have a 6th place at Nashville to finish the year, but as we noted, Scott McLaughlin had a better finish there as well. And then on this particular track, the streets of St. Petersburg, Kyle Kirkwood. Will you stop with the alliterations, Kyle? Kyle Kirkwood, not really all that strong. 18th, 15th, 10th, and 5th for Kyle Kirkwood on this particular track. So, yeah, I mean, again, I just feel like the wily veteran is going to get the better of the young guy, and at least to open the season too, because these veterans open season strong and then continue down the road. And yeah, I think Scott Dixon's in for a good start. So give me him over Kyle Kirkwood.
Yeah, I think this is a great. So Penske really struggled last year. Joseph Newgarden, Scotty Mack, Will Power ended up having an okay season, being the guy getting released. But the other 2 guys in Scotty Mack, who you just talked about, and Newgarden had tough years. This is going to be a great opportunity for them to get the ship righted, So I love this head-to-head with Scotty Mack over Kirkwood as well. Top 3 market for me. There was top 5s for about 3.5 seconds on Caesars. Those came down, so we don't have any now. But top 3 podium finish. Take a couple of guys here. Pato Award, you can get him plus 180. Got this on Fanatics, but I think it was pretty much the same at most books. 11th here last year, but he finished second here in 2024. Ended up getting the win after the penalties there when Newgarden was disqualified. But so second place here in 24, or the win, however you want to look at it. Second place here in 2023 as well. So 2 of the last 3 years, he's been on the podium. Won at Toronto last year, another street course race. You like to see that. He's kind of the leader over there at Arrow McLaren. You expect that to be a team that continues to be on the rise. We've seen what McLaren's done with their F1 program, taking them to the top. Their IndyCar program's not far behind in making gains continually on Penske, on Ganassi. Give me Pato Award, top 3 plus 180. And then back to Will Power. I just talked about how much I love him. Top 3 rather, at 5-1. Top 5 number I would be interested in as well. But the top 3 at 5-1, I really just think that he's going to come out and he's going to be a man on a mission with something to prove. He's been good at this track, like I just documented. Getting left on the side of the road by Penske after many, many years together. He's going to have something to prove. Colton Herta has been good before in these types of cars at this types of tracks. Kirkwood, who you mentioned, and I don't mind fading him, but multiple wins over the last couple of years, specifically on street circuits, which is what this is. So I think that could play into Will Power having a good run as well. So Pato Award, top 3 plus 180. Will Power, top 3, 5-1.
Plus, I love the commercial for Pato Award. They have some really good commercials for Pato Award. Absolutely.
Fox has nailed it with the IndyCar commercials. Fox has done a great job with taking over IndyCar and by the way, all IndyCar races this year, like last year, are on main Fox. You don't have to worry about what channel it's on, whatever, paying for it, none of that. It's all on Fox. So you got to watch them, which is very exciting.
It is very exciting. I want to formally apologize for Scott McLaughlin for putting him in the 9 seat when he's clearly in the 3 seat, because there's another Scott Kiwi.
You kept going back and forth between Scotts, but whatever.
Well, that's because
you're betting on both of them.
I'm betting on both of them, indeed. Yeah, because I've got to bet on Scott Dixon as well. Scott Dixon, top 3 at plus 250. The other New Zealand Scott. This guy really is in the 9 car. I could just see it now. No one knows anything about IndyCar. That's fine. But when you got all the tabs open in your head, you keep track of it. Why don't you? But look, Scott Dixon, holy hell, right? 8 podium finishes in 21 starts. 38.1% of the time this guy has been on the podium. And I would love a top 5 if we could get it. But, these kind of sports, F1, Indy, don't necessarily make that.
We'll probably get top 5. So IndyCar betting is very finicky. You think NASCAR and how small that market is, IndyCar is even smaller. And so like Caesars dropped a bunch of stuff and they got just hammered. I'm in a couple of different Discords where guys are just, flying bets left and right and they pulled everything down. We'll get more. And, post practice and qualifying, they'll have more options too. Hopefully race day, you kind of get some top 5. So, we like these guys top 3s, but keep them in mind for top 5s too, if you feel better about a top 5 type of bet.
Yeah. And that's so, but even still, like Scott Dixon has had 5 podium finishes since the 2017 season on this track. I mean, the guy, like I said, has 21 starts in this one. He finished 2nd last year, 7th, 3rd, 8th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 6th, 3rd, 7th, 15th in 2015, but 4th, 5th, and 2nd before that. Like, he's just been on fire, man. This guy, he's flirting with the podium or on the podium in each one of the last few races to start the year. So I love both Scotts. I don't care which one it is. You're both from New Zealand. You're both pretty. We're both going to give you a nod. So Scott Dixon is a top 5 at plus 250 in the 9 car, and Scott McLaughlin in the 3 over Kyle Kirkwood. Like that? Take that.
I like it, Rod. Guys like 397 years old just keeps turning out great finishes time and time again in IndyCar. Outrights real quick, Rod. I got Joseph Newgarden plus 625 over on BetMGM. I love Joseph Newgarden this season. I think that we are going to talk about elite commercials. He's had elite commercials for sure. But you talk about a guy that just last year, I don't I guess maybe you can kind of compare it to like Kyle Busch, except that he's not old and he's still in an elite car. But just like heartbreak after heartbreak and problem after problem, and they just, oh, this should be the week they figured, oh, something goes wrong. Oh, this goes wrong. And a lot of times, not even his fault, like wrong place, wrong time, mechanical, whatever. Horrible, horrible year for one of the top 2-3 drivers in the series. Put that all behind us. Let's go to a track we've been great at. Let's get it done. I think we're going to see a statement race from Newgarden. And then you have Phoenix on the horizon next week. Joseph Newgarden is the king of the oval racing in IndyCar. You will see that if you watch throughout this season. Joseph Newgarden, third place finish last year, so right there in the mix. Even despite the bad season they ended up having, started the season good here. He won this race, quote unquote, in 2024. That win was taken away from them. That's kind of a whole thing, but whatever. Second place finish here in 21. He won this race in 2020, won this race in 2019. So a 2.5-time winner of this race, Rod. Depending on how much credit you give him for the 24 race. But horrible, horrible season last year, but still was good here at this track. I'm throwing out the rest of 2024. I think this is revenge tour time for Will Power. I think it's revenge tour time for Joseph Newgarden, even though he didn't go anywhere. Nobody left him. He's still at Penske, but time to right the ship, get things going. So give me Joseph Newgarden at 625. And then my guy, my favorite driver, Christian Lundgaard, 12-1 on FanDuel. Not going to pass up an opportunity to bet on him. He came over last year for the first time to this Arrow McLaren team, and you saw some good improvements, some good runs, right? 8th place finish in this one. Again, that was his first race in the McLaren car, so give him time to learn it, figure it out, being in a better car. But even when he was in a worse car, he won at Toronto, a street course, a couple of years ago. I believe he was running for RLL at the time. 6 podium finishes last year for this kid, though. He is a young, up-and-coming, good driver. Put it in the right place at the right time, got these podium finishes, got good results. Love the kid. Breakout season incoming for Christian Lundgaard. 12-1 to win at St. Pete. I love it.
I love it as well because I'm going to have fun watching him blossom. All right, my outright pick is pretty boring, so if you want to yawn, now's a good time to do so. But I will say, listen, I've seen this guy at plus 275 in some books. So when I was shopping around, I was like, come on. The score, or is it the FanDuel actually giving us fantastic price for Alex Palou at 4-1. 4-1. If you've watched IndyCar for 5 seconds, you know who Alex Palou is because the dude's been champion.
He's like minus 250 to win the championship for reference.
Yeah, he's like the Max Verstappen of IndyCar, right? He's won the championship 4 out of the last 5 seasons. In this one, he had 8 wins last year, 5 wins in 2023, a down year with 2 wins in 2024, and still won the championship in that year. But Alex Palou it got a win here last year. That was his first win, believe it or not, on this particular track, but finishes a 4th, 8th, and 2nd before that. I mean, look, if you can find Max Verstappen at 4-1 at the height of his career, you'd grab that and you wouldn't even look back. So to get Alex Palou at 4-1 when he's probably still the best driver on the track right now, I'll take that and I'll run with it and hope that it cashes for sure.
My only pushback is he wins the championships, but it's not always by winning all the races. He's going to be good every week for sure. But it's hard to bet against the guy too, because he is just elite, next level. He's been tearing up the series for multiple years now. Big championship favorite, as we mentioned. So hard to bet against him.
Indeed. Okay, get out your pen and papers. We're going to do this old school style too, like we will. We're going to go over our picks for this Firestone Grand Prix at St. Pete. I started you out with Scott McLaughlin in the 3 car, the Thirsty Threes. I want everybody to understand. I know what I'm talking about. Over Kyle Kirkwood at minus 115. Scott Dixon, a fellow New Zealand driver, as a top 3 car at plus 250. He is in the 9 car. And then Alex Palou at 4-1 to win the race. Cody gave you Will Power over Marcus Ericsson at minus 105. Give you Paddle Award top 3 at plus 180. Will Power top 3 at 5-1. Joseph Newgarden is an outright at plus 625, and Christian Lundgaard at 12-1 as an outright. Nothing strips away your effectiveness more than just completely botching the wrong thing. But
well, at least you gave the right stats. You know who you meant you were talking about. That's all that matters.
It's blind stats. Slow roll say best show going. Rod's a pro doing this. A pro's pro doing this. Cody's the man, the myth, the legend. Rod, it's pretty obvious you have a lot of experience doing radio or TV or both. Great job, guys. I put this up, though, because I'm going to throw a link in the Discord.
Oh, you're going to share it with everybody?
I'm going to share
it. Guys, you've got to go to the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. Rod is in some commercials when he's a younger man and he has some hair. And you're going to want to see those videos. It's great. And yes, radio guy, long time. He started podcasting before podcasts were invented. That's how long he's been doing it. So he is the true pros pro.
2006. That's when I started my first podcast. So that's a trip. Maybe I'll put a link into that.
14. Wow. That's
TK saying, I heard Alex Palou may need some money, so he has another reason to go get a win.
There's you think NASCAR's got some lawsuit stuff? Palou's mixed up in some stuff too. But hey, just keep winning, and I guess it makes all your problems somewhat go away.
They say that, right? But I don't know. I've yet to see many of my problems go away and I'm winning. Hunter wants to thank us for watching. Thanks, guys. Only watch NASCAR, but I'll tune in. Oh, good. He'll tune in.
Yeah, check it out. It's exciting. And with IndyCar, with F1, they're definitely different disciplines. Don't straight up compare them to NASCAR. It's not the same, but it's different ways of racing, different cars, different things going on, different rules, different strategies. And it is really exciting. They're both very exciting types of racing. We love both. We're obviously NASCAR guys to the core through and through, but we love a little open wheel mixed in with it. More racing, more betting. I mean, what more could you want?
Indeed. Left and right turns to go everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This weekend is the weekend of left and right turns, so we'll turn you loose to go set this up. Zilisch was born in 2006.
All right, Rod. Hope that makes you feel good. All right. Yeah, that's it. We got through the week. Let's go. 4 exciting road course races this weekend. I'm hoping it's going to be a really, really fun weekend, Rod. We'll find out on Sunday. But should be a really fun weekend. Super, super excited. Going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you go over to the YouTube, subscribe, click the little bell. We will have that live recap race. I think it's probably Sunday night this week. Hopefully things will work out there. So, join us for that. Hopefully the call-in line will be fixed and we'll be good to go. And follow me on the X, Rod, at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff over there. NASCAR stuff, yes, but I've also got working with the Washington Wolfpack of Arena Football 1. Been doing player profiles over there. Share those over there. That's a lot of fun. Got some NFL stuff, mock draft coming out here soon. All that for sportsgamblingpodcast.com. It's more than just racing for us, buddy.
Follow me on my America Online instant message line no, I'm just kidding. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can find everything I'm up to there, including the rotary phone that I use to make phone calls every day. Love you guys so much. We'll see you guys for the recap show, and hopefully it'll be a very fantastic recap. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the weekend of racing. Help us in our never-ending quest to make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.
SVG.
Another piece of